Ship registration is the process by which a ship is documented and given nationality of the country that the ship has been documented to. The nationality allows a ship to travel internationally as it is proof of ownership of the vessel. International law requires that every merchant ship be registered in a country, called its flag state. Ship registration is similar to a person having a passport. A ship is bound by the law of its flag state. A ship's flag state exercises regulatory control over the vessel and is required to inspect it regularly, certify the ship's equipment and crew, and issue safety and pollution prevention documents. This certificate should be issued to every ship, the gross and net tonnage of which have been determined in accordance with the convention. Gross tonnage is used to determine things such as a ship's manning regulations, safety rules, registration fees, and port dues. Net tonnage is based on the molded volume of all cargo spaces of the ship. A port state control inspector will ask to see this certificate and check if the vessel has been altered significantly from what the certificate was issued on. Gross tonnage, no units, is calculated based on the molded volume of all enclosed spaces of the ship and is used to determine things such as a ship's manning regulations, safety rules, registration fees, and port dues. A ship's net tonnage is constrained to be no less than 30% of her gross tonnage. A tonnage certificate will cease to be valid and be cancelled by the administration if certain types of alterations have been made, such as would necessitate an increase in gross tonnage or net tonnage. A certificate issued to a ship by an administration shall cease to be valid upon transfer of such a ship to the flag of another state. There is a Droghers Act in Trinidad. Commercial vessels operating in Trinidad waters must carry a Droghers book, which must be presented to customs when the vessel arrives at a port in Trinidad. The Droghers book establishes the name of the vessel and the owner. The customs in Trinidad also issue a license to navigate coastwise, that is usually attached to the Droghers book. The Droghers book helps the customs control trade around Trinidad's coast. Every ship to which SOLAS applies shall be provided with an appropriate safe manning document or equivalent issued by the administration as evidence of the minimum safe manning. This certificate is incorporated in the SCV Safety Certificate. Certificates for masters, officers or ratings should be issued to persons who meet the requirements for service, age, medical fitness, training, qualifications and examinations in accordance with the STCW and SCV codes. Certificates must be kept available in their original form on board the ships on which the holder is serving. Safety equipment expected to be used at drills and inspected regularly. Records of all maintenance done on safety equipment, whether on board or ashore, should be recorded and available for inspection at audits and surveys. Safety equipment expected to be used at drills and inspected regularly. Records of all maintenance done on safety equipment, whether on board or ashore, should be recorded and available for inspection at audits and surveys. Navigation equipment is considered to be safety equipment. SOLAS requires cargo ships over 500 gross tonnage to carry a cargo ship safety equipment certificate. Even if your vessel does not carry the certificate, the safety equipment must be ready for use at all times. Load-bearing or pressured equipment must have inspection and test certificates. Ship and boat radios, including handheld radios, should be licensed. Ships have not carried a designated radio officer for a couple of decades now. The deck officers are trained to use the equipment, and ship managers have to name the shore base engaged to maintain the radio equipment when the ship is in port. Testing the E.P.I.R.B is part of the GMDSS shore-based maintenance. The hydrostatic release units to be maintained annually. SOLAS requires cargo ships over 300 gross tonnage to carry a cargo ship safety radio certificate. Even if your vessel does not carry the certificate, the radio equipment must be ready for use at all times. Commercial ships in port can also be inspected by a port health officer. The port health officer will check that sanitation arrangements on board the vessel are of acceptable standards.